Yes, this is exciting. So we just show that they're here. So we've never done the webinar before. So I see that there's a few people already on. I'm excited. Mia, even boss man Jason. Yeah, so, oh, Susan Baca, yay. This is great. I'm like,
Susan,
we know some of these people, yes.
that's good. Hugs.
I just wish I could see everybody's faces because I miss everybody so much. And again, this is going to be a show and tell. I mean, I'm sitting here with all kinds of fun toys.
And I've got mine behind me.
I mean, this was the popular one last year.
It was.
Literally couldn't keep these in the booth last year. They ran away, which we was like, hey, I'm giving them away, but don't take my sample, my only one I got. I think Valerie and I wound up like shoving them down in our jacket or something just to like so they wouldn't run away. You know, like we just need one just to show people.
Shoving them down on the couch. Exactly.
Yeah. The other thing was really cool was these. The seesaws. Those have been great.
Those are one of these.
I love taking them to meetings. Yes. Well, you know, when we could travel and actually had customer visits. But those were always super fun. What's so great is you always got to take these with you, and you had show and tell items just like this, as I actually like tangible things. So we'd be in customer meetings and we're all just playing with these. And we're like, oh, I remember being in Florida and UF, and we literally went and got a cage and put one right just, you know, just playing around, seeing how it fit. So that's what's nice about having the tangible items there. So, but this, being a caging former catering manufacturer, this is going to be super exciting. The moment you showed it, I was like, yes.
We're excited about it. We are excited about it.
Well, it's 2:00. It's super. Well, it looks like from the poll, people are excited about, this rat corner home. I'm loving this whole thing. Rat corner home and that mini thermo cage.
Okay. Which is the only thing I don't have because it's too big.
Because it's too big. Yes.
Yeah, it's too big for my home office.
All right, well, this is good. This is good. Actually, we've sold some of those, so I knew there was some interest in them. And then, so thank you guys all for joining us. It looks like we've got several attendees, so we're I guess we can kind of get started. It's 2:00. Maybe wait a couple more minutes if you don't mind. I know that we've got, because we had 50 something attendees planned. We've got a few right now. Oh, Mia, it's fun listening to us chat back and forth oh, it's just nice. I guess just having this interaction again. I miss it so much. Oh, Kathy was so nice. Hopefully you saw the Florida warehouse tour. I think our guy Justin did a great job on that, and so see where all Kathy's stuff is. Kathy's at Miami. Oh man, so many of these ladies that I would normally see, ladies' night out. I know we have some vets. We have people from all over the world that are attending this, so this is kind of nice. Let's see. All right. Well, it is 2:02. We just go ahead and kind of get started.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for attending our webinar. This is our first real live. As you can see, we are laid back. We are not about just like, let's just shoot a PowerPoint and this is how you're going to go. I'm all about some interaction, and Nikki's the same way. So don't be afraid. Please, feel free to write your questions. There's a Q&A at the bottom. I love that you're polling, doing the poll, because now we can kind of see what people are really interested in and knowing more about. She's going to have a little bit of a slideshow, but it's more some just videos so you can see the actual animals using things, learn more about, but we do have tangible items and we'll talk about these. We do want to hear your questions. Feel free, the Q&A portion, to unmute yourself and ask those as well, and we'll have some verbal back and forth. If there's anything else that you're not seeing or something you want, please feel free to write it in and we will make sure that we hit on those topics. Again, this is really, we want it to be a little more interactive. And we just appreciate your time. And I'm gonna turn it over to my friend, Nikki.
Hi, so for those of you that don't know me, which is probably most of you, I'm over here in the UK. It's 7 p.m. at the moment, so I'm going to apologise now in case my 4-year-old comes flying through the door over there any minute, because it's around about her bedtime. But we're keeping her up downstairs with some additional TV tonight to try and keep her a bit quiet. So apologies if she does appear. Like Kelly said, we just want it to be interactive. Any questions you've got, please ask. More than happy to show anything, explain anything. I did have a PowerPoint, but you know what? I don't think I'm going to use it apart from the videos, because really, we can use it if we want to, if anyone needs to know any other bits of information. But it was fairly formal about our company. So I can tell you that we're Datesand. We're in the UK. We are celebrating in 2020 our 40th anniversary, and we had some really exciting stuff planned for over here in the UK for our big meetings, and also for National ALAS this year to celebrate 40 years of Datesand. But unfortunately, COVID has put paid to that. So our 40th anniversary on the 1st of April was spent in full lockdown in the UK, which was not so exciting, and we couldn't have any parties. But it's been great to start seeing people over Zoom, and hopefully some customer meetings will start over here quite soon. And we're really hoping that by this time next year, we'll be traveling back over to see you guys at ALAS. That would be the best. So we started this year by moving into a brand new warehouse, which was really big for us. And I am going to show you this picture of Jonathan, our CEO, who some of you may know in our warehouse. If I can actually do this, my screens have gone so funny today. Oh, you've disabled screen sharing, Kelly. Can you enable screen sharing? We'll get there. Can you tell none of us have done this before?
Nikki, I'm right there with you.
Me too.
Oh.
So Datesand are the European biggest supplier of bedding and enrichment, and we've been working with Lab Supply for 2 or 3 years now, really mainly in the last kind of 12 to 24 months, and it's been a really lovely partnership. We're really starting to build up some traction on some products, and we come over. We've exhibited at ALAS for 7 years. This would be our 7th year, and we've seen some really good traction of people coming and touching and feeling our products on the stand, and that's really where we want to be, is you know, showing you and actually having tangible products in front of you, like Kelly said. So I'm just sharing a screen now. I hope you can see it, of our new premise. This is Jonathan, our CEO and owner. His parents started the business actually in 1980. Both of them have sadly now passed away, but Jonathan has been in the business man and boy. And here's some of our lovely team. This is us all in the middle picture there at the top, is us all socially distanced outside our building, because even when we're in work, we're still having to socially distance pretty quickly at the moment over here. And they made me put a slide in about me on the PowerPoint, which I hate doing because I don't really like talking about myself. But I hate seeing pictures of myself, even worse. I did the business in 2008, so I am 12 years in now. And had my daughter 4 years ago, and she is a live wire. In fact, if she hears me speaking, there is no doubt she will come bowling through the door. So I better keep my voice down, which is not something I'm so good at. What I wanted to show you really today is, I'm just going to whiz all through this, is some of our new products. Now, the majority of our newest products have come from the Janet Wood Innovation Award, and Janet was Jonathan's mother. She passed away in 2010, sadly. But she was really passionate about environmental enrichment and animal welfare. And so in her honor, a few years ago now, we started up the Janet Wood Innovation Award, where we threw it out to the animal caretakers, the technicians, the PIs, the researchers, to come up with something new. Because as I'm sure you know, you ask all the time, what have you got that's new? We were asked all the time, what have you got that's new? And aside from saying, oh, we have this in a different color, we have this in a different size, there wasn't really much really new innovative products coming out. So we thought we'd ask the caretakers and the animal technicians who are working with the animals every day what they would like to see in the cages. So in the first year, the mouse swing one, now I'm going to stop sharing here because I'm just going to show you an actual mouse swing rather than the picture of one. Now, they're not much to look at, to be honest, if they're not in a cage. And when we first showed these to our customers, they were like, what now? But when you put them in a cage and they bend round like this and clip onto any wire bars, they become a really nice little hammock, a little shelter, a little swing for the mice within the cage. And I showed them very first of all when they first came on the market to a customer of mine in a university in the UK, and she was like that. She was the facility manager. She's no, these are no, they're just not going to work. And I said, just take them, put them in your cage, and see what happens. And she phoned me 20 minutes after I left her. I left the meeting with saying, I've got a video to send you. And I said, oh, great. She sent me a video. Within 20 minutes, her mice were up there using it within the cage and really using the whole three-dimensional space within the cage, which was fantastic. So that was the ultimate winner in the first year of the competition. The other ones from the first year that are on the market and quite common, you may have seen some of these, are the mouse mezzanine, which were designed by someone at the University of Cambridge in the UK. And these were designed to fit around either an automated watering inlet, which would pop in there, obviously, or within an IVC, but they don't obstruct the airflow because this part is all open at the end. And it also means that the mice have got some elevated play space. It means they can get up to food hoppers if they need to. We have one customer that puts them up against their food hoppers so that smaller, weaker animals can get up and reach the food more easily. And they can get up away from the airflow, but they cannot, if you've got automated watering, they cannot flood the cage because there is nothing to push up against the nozzle. And we all know how rubbish those cage floods are and having to try and combat those on a daily, weekly basis. The other one from the first year, which was the runner-up in the first year, were, again, a really simple idea, but these have been the biggest seller from the first year. These are tunnel clips. They're such a simple concept. All they are is a flexible clip that goes up with, I'm not sure how well you can see this, a little notch here in between any wire bars. It can go onto the food hopper, it can go onto the ceiling bars, anywhere that's got a wire bar, twists through 90 degrees and is locked on. They then get used with a tunnel and it makes a raised shelter up in the cage. So again, it's all about getting the animals to use the full 3 dimensions of the cage, which in the wild, they would be climbing, they would be up high. If you've ever had mouse in your house, we had one this summer in our house, it could get everywhere. They're brilliant climbers. We don't have him anymore, he's gone. And the smaller version is this one, which is a smaller tunnel. So that's the 2 sizes of tunnels that can have with the clips. The clips were so popular that people started using them with the red tunnels, which I'm sure you're all very aware of. These are the Datesand ones, which are all injection molded, so they don't have any sharp ends. Lots of them on the market have cut ends, which means they can be quite sharp and can be quite nibbled, but these are all injection molded. We manufacture these. They work with the clips. Clip up, twist, and they're up there for your animals. We then also got asked about using them with the clear handling tubes, which we've sold a good number of now in the States, actually, and they are gaining traction. So these are handling tubes, originally invented by an academic at the University of Liverpool in the UK to reduce the stress levels of mice when you are handling them. So instead of tail handling them, this goes in the cage, they become habituated to it, they go in, you pick them up, and you can see right through and do your observations that way. You may have noticed that I turned that this has 2 of the clips, like our tunnel clips, already molded into it. This was a recent advancement. And when this came back from production, it had been through all the design process, blah, blah, blah. I was like, why? But why have we got 2 clips on that? Why are there 2? Is that right? And the answer is, Nicky, that's a really daft question because they can go on. One is lengthways and one is widthways, which means you can along your cage or across your cage. And that was really the first year of the competition. We then opened the competition out to a global market in the second and third years of it. And we had some great entries from the USA last year. We've had entries from South America, from Europe. I think we had a South African entry this year. This year's competition has been a little bit thrown up in the air because of the COVID situation, and it will roll over to next year because we couldn't have the peer-reviewed vote, which is how we decide which ones win. The winner in the second year, which again, some of you may be familiar with, throwing things across my desk, it was the Nombrero, which is for putting in wet diet. It's better to actually show this on the picture because then you can see what I mean. Share my screen, there we go. So you can see on the screen now the Nombrero, which the girl that designed this, Vanessa, she had been working as an animal caretaker for less than 12 months. And she came up with a solution to get this food into the cage, wet diet, treat diet into the cage without it getting spoiled on the floor. That brings us on to the brand new products for this year. We have the Rat Scratcher was last year, and the Seesaw, which Kelly already showed you. This one is great. I love this. I'm going to take the clip off that and just show you. The play tunnel goes on to the Seesaw, and it's like a little, so it looks a bit like a satellite sometimes, actually. Some people call it satellite. And I was made up at ALAS last year when someone told me that in the US you call seesaws teeter-totters. Is that right?
Yeah.
Teeter-totters. I thought that was brilliant. We should have called it a teeter-totter because that is such a cute word. Anyway, that's just me. That's just me. That brings us on now to our newest products, which I know some of you are interested in seeing. There are two, and we are so excited about these this year. The first one, just sharing the screen now, is the Scruff Guard. Now this comes in two varieties, a disposable one, which I think is ideal for using a few times in a day and then getting rid of. There's no worrying about cleaning it, sterilizing it. It's there, it's autoclavable into your facility. Kelly is showing you one now in her hand, and it enables you to restrain your animal. They're not going to squirm and bite you. There's going to be no stick injuries as they're moving around. The best way to show this is with the video.
Being a former, I was with Allentown for a long time, and we went from that full wire bar lid to that half pocket. And that was the main customer concern was, how are we going to scruff our animals now? What do we do? And they kept trying to add little pieces on and other things. And I knew Technoplast and other customers now, obviously everybody has these half pocket wire bar lids. So that's why when you showed us this in the summer, I was like, holy cow, this is, going to be a hot seller because there's so many people. That was one of the main concerns I heard over and over.
Yeah. So it's a fabulous product. It was designed by a couple of academics in London, one of the London universities. And it's been around for, I think, 3-4 years now. But because they're academics and not commercial vendors, they had no way of getting it out into the marketplace. So now Datesand have done a deal with them, and we will be the global exclusive suppliers of Scruff Guard. So it's only available through our partner companies like Lab Supply for the US. I'm hoping the sound is working on the video, Kelly, is it?
Not yet.
Oh, hold on.
I think we had a certain button we had to click earlier.
I have to press the button again. Sorry, everybody. I'm just going to pause this and do the sound. Share the computer sound. Here we go. Right.
Datesand would like to introduce you to the Scruff Guard. Scruff Guard is a tool designed and developed to make dosing procedures less stressful for rodents in veterinary practices or in research laboratories. Scruff Guard is different from traditional manual restraints and is very simple to use. The mouse is taken from the home cage and placed onto a soft foam base. The Scruff Guard is then placed over the mouse so that its fur protrudes from the central slot, and the scruff can be grasped without injury to the mouse or handler. The Scruff Guard is ideal for routine subcutaneous dosing, such as pain relief following surgery or microchipping for identification purposes. The Scruff Guard can also be used for intraperitoneal procedures. we want to make dosing and microchipping as stress-free as possible, and we think that the Scruff Guard can help achieve that. For more information, please visit www.datesand.com or call us on
I'm going to stop the share there because you don't need our phone number because you're not going to call it from the States. But yeah, the video really, call Kelly, call Val. They're the ones to call for this. But yeah, so as I think the video shows it really clearly that when you have your mouse scruffed with the Scruff Guard, it's so nicely contained in like the bowl here. It's less stressed, it's not kicking and screaming about. You can really easily access the front of the mouse or in through the back, in through the scruff. And even to some extent, you can tail vein bleed from there as well. The one that Kelly was showing in this one that I'm holding up now is the disposable version. And this one looks almost identical, but is the reusable version. They're both autoclavable. This one's cage washable as well. And the reusable one comes in a variety of sizes, from very, very small for tiny mice all the way up to this is the biggest size. But the most common one is the size 9, which is what the disposable is. So you can see there's a slight difference between those, but yeah, the Scruff Guard. I think it's going to have so many great applications when you're training your staff, if you have any PIs that are not so confident in handling their animals. So we had an inquiry earlier during the ALS week here through Kelly about someone who was saying one of their PIs was kind of afraid of handling their mice, and this would really help them. So we've sent some samples out, and we're really excited to hear the feedback on that.
Thing also, she said, is if you see something that you really like, please let us know, because we are happy to send out samples. Jason and I are always, I call us the sample king and queen, because we've always pushed on samples. Sometimes I think he wants to slap my hand because I send them out so often. But Nicky has graciously said, hey, just whatever, if anybody wants to sample this, let us know. We'll be happy to get those out there to you.
Yeah, absolutely. The second new product, again, difficult to show. Looks a bit like a cardboard square. This is a cell pad, which we've had some comments about the name. I don't know about in the US, but in the UK, a cell pad or a pad is indeed a cell in a prison. So I'm not sure about the name, but we're going with it for now. It's a nesting block. It could be an alternative to any of the other nesting squares that are on the market. Again, as I say, it really doesn't look much. The key with this one is the pre-cut fold, which means it hangs down in the cage from the bars. Any bars, you just drop it through and it'll hang down. That's all pre-cut in a single piece. You can use it on the floor of the cage like a standard nesting square as well. But the key is the part. Now I'm just going to flick onto my share screen again, because again, this is one that is not very easy to describe, but when you see the video, it really becomes very clear. Now, if you think my accent is strange, Ryan, my colleague who is presenting the video, is from Wales in the UK, and he has a really strong accent, but he is very good at presenting this video. So I will just show you this now. Hopefully I don't have to share the sound again. There we go.
Datesand are pleased to introduce a new and unique nesting and enrichment product, the Cell Pad. This product is only available from Datesand and combines nesting and enrichment in one easy-to-fit device. Supplied in boxes of 1,500, the Cell Pad is a unique disposable enrichment device that can either be placed in the base of the cage or suspended from the cage bars. It encourages the animal's natural nest building behaviours whilst they actively climb on and around the pad, stretching and gnawing, a natural active enrichment. Fitting the Cell Pad could not be easier. You simply fold along the pre-creased line and drop in between the bars. Cell Pad is portion controlled, certified, and can be autoclaved. It's manufactured from 100% food grade pure cellulose, board with no additives. It's oxygen bleached to avoid the use of any unnecessary chemicals and weighs just 4.2 grams. It is biodegradable and compostable, and it can be supplied vacuum packed and irradiated. Cell Pad was designed by Luke Mercer from the Babraham Institute during our Janet Wood Innovation Awards competition. For free samples, call 0161 274 1080, or for more information, visit www.datesand.com.
stop sharing that there again. So again, it's really easy to put into the, simple to drop into the cage. Again, it was designed by an animal technician, Luke Mercer, one of the managers down at the Babraham Institute in Cambridge. And they are doing, they're introducing it across all of their cages in their facility now. And we've found that unlike with some nesting materials, most strains will interact with this. They will give it a good go. They get up on their hind legs. Again, it's all about them reaching up and grabbing things from above, which is something that is a really natural type behavior in the wild. I can see there's a couple of comments on there. Ah, great. So samples. Mia wants some samples, which is fab. We can do that. Absolutely no problem. So they're the two newest products. I want to open it up and see if anyone has any questions about anything or any comments.
Yeah, feel free to unmute yourself if you would like, or if you have any other questions about or comments about those two. So far, it seems like people are excited about the Scruff Guard and even the cell pads. That's good. Let's see, we've got a question that's popped up. Oh yeah, Kathy wants to see some samples too. So that's great. In Miami. All right. So maybe we will go to the next. Oh, let's see. Here's a couple more questions popped up. About the cell pad, do the mice grab the pad when it's hanging?
Yeah, they really do. And that's really what it's designed for them to get up and to look at it. On the Datesand YouTube channel, let me see if I can get that up right now. We have another video of it, which really shows them going for it. Let's grab this. Excuse me. Got a frog here. Does Scruff Guard come in a rat size? It does not at the moment. I'm not sure whether the material would be strong enough to warrant a rat size, but it's certainly something that we would look at the potential of doing. That would be something that we'd need to do with the academics that designed it in London. Right, let me share this video of how the mouse interacts with the cell pads. One sec, here we go.
The cell pad combines nesting and enrichment in one easy-to-fit device. This unique disposable enrichment device is suspended from the cage or food hopper bars and encourages animals' natural nest-building behaviours while they actively climb on and around the product, stretching and getting active enrichment from the device. CellPad is portion controlled, certified and manufactured from 100% pure cellulose, which is biodegradable and makes a soft
so you
and
can see they
fluffy
have a really
nest.
good go of playing with it, getting up on their hind legs.
CellPad is a Datesand exclusive product. For more information, visit datesand.com or call us on 0161 274 1080.
Good, I'm glad you had this video.
Yeah. So those videos are on our YouTube channel. Oh, trying to replay it there. Yeah, there's a Datesand YouTube channel that has videos of lots of our products in use on them. So on YouTube, you just need to search Datesand and they all come up. They're all linkable too as well from the website.
Great. Let's see. I know I've got a couple people, and Amanda will get some samples out to you as well. All right. Okay. So I think that the next thing is like also, you said the thermo cage we're interested in, and then we also have some that, are newer to us. You said Biosurg had at one time it's these out, but the rat home we're interested in. I think this is.
These are great. They're disposable. They're designed to be chewed up. They're designed to last one cage change. They are manufactured in this shape. They've got the hole in the top, so there's no trapping inside. So anyone that gets in can get out again. The rats, they will fit in a rat cage nicely. It gives the rats a shelter, but they will also mash it and end up ripping it up and urinating on it. All the things that they should be doing with their enrichment, interacting with it. They are autoclavable, they are stackable, and they're really good kind of economic product for within rat cages. There's not much out there for rats, to be fair. And the bit of the interest on the shape on this, it gives them some additional flat surface on the top, gives them some gripping areas with this dip here. They can get hold of it, but also they can get inside, get really nice and warm inside with their nesting. There's a mouse version as well, which is the smart home, which is this one, which is a triangle shape. Really, so as opposed to a dome shape, it is more difficult to push up against automated watering. Again, there's the access holes here and here so that animals don't get trapped inside if there is any dominance in the cage, any fighting within the cage, but they can make a really good nest inside there. They're protected. There's also good visibility through the holes. It used to have smaller holes in the side, but we were asked to make them bigger so there was better visibility of the animals without disturbing them in the cage, which is really important, obviously. There's a perforation across the top and down the sides, so they can be easily ripped in two and used as two half shacks up against the side of the cage as well, if people find that these are too big for their cages.
So we did have one question about the cell pad that came up. Do the cell pads fluff up for nesting?
Yeah, they do. They do. They fluff up, but they don't produce much dust fibers. I know one of the common issues with some of the other portioned nesting cotton squares on the market is that there is some dust. There's often some dust, especially within IVCs, can clog filters. These are pure virgin cellulose as opposed to cotton fiber, which means that there's a lot less dust within the cage. But yes, they do fluff up for nesting.
Oh, great. Any questions? Any more questions on those? Let's see. Oh, Mia. Yep. Mia wants some samples of the rat house also. Yep. Yeah, those are just kind of different. Like you said, not a whole lot of things for rats. I know you keep mentioning the auto watering and pushing up. That obviously that's Valerie's previous job, for history. And as a former caging manufacturer, that was the thing that I was worried about was people, things flood in the cage. That's where also a lot of this enrichment comes into play. Like I love the tubes with the connectors to the wire bar lid, because it does happen. They do, you have some mice that love to play with the water, or they figure it out, whether it's a bottle water or whatever, and they'll tend to try to flood the cage. So getting up off the floor is a great option.
Yeah, it also just increases the amount of usable space within the cage. I think by getting the enrichment off the floor, you're finding that you've not got a cluttered cage floor, which can be a problem sometimes. If you're putting lots of toys on the floor, then there's no space actually for them to run about, or the visibility on the floor becomes very difficult for the caretakers and the animal staff. So by getting the enrichment up and off and static up there, it gives them the motion to get through it, it gives them the exercise, but also it means the visibility for the staff is much better.
I think Crystal's also wanting a sample of the scruff art. And absolutely, Crystal, we'll get those out to you. Mia says, any suggestions for zebra finch enrichment, easily cleaned or disposed of?
Oh, how zebra finch? Gosh, I'm going to be honest and say I have very little experience of zebra finches. What we have found over here with other bird facilities is just scratch papers and mirrors. Kelly's going to answer this one. I think you probably know more than me.
Vwhat's that? Zebra finches?
It said you wanted to answer the question, but I think.
Oh, I was making it live. We weren't going to respond via typing. No, so that I've really struggled with that too. I've actually had that question a few times, and I've struggled with finding enrichment for them. I know that we've even had just for fish in general. I know people put different things at the top of the water, but I've struggled with that. And zebra finches, all those different things. I don't know. That's where you'd be a little better at that than me. Let's see what we got.
I'm not very good with zebra finches. Apologies for that.
And Hannah, yes, Hannah, we will definitely get out some scruff guard samples to you. I've got writing those names down, keeping that list. Is there anything that anybody that we've missed that you? Oh, the thermocage did you want to talk about that too? The mini.
The thermocage is it's a great product. It's a bit difficult to show because obviously I don't have a sample of it here.
Put on your screen a while ago, like a picture of that.
Yeah. Let me grab the screen. I had it up before. Now I'm going to have to find it.
It's on that same.
On here, hold on. Here's the main picture of it. Let me just share this with you. There we go. This is the just the screenshot from the catalogue. We can get these out to you electronically. So this is the thermocage here. It's a really simple plug and play piece of kit, very inexpensive and really user intuitive. It's just a three-step procedure. On the side of it, there's a little pin pad. You press up or down to get the temperature that you want to hold the cage at. It uses ambient room air, so it's not filtered air in it. It is just ambient. It will draw the air in through the heater in the top unit, and it will very gently blow warm air down through the cage, which then dissipates through the sections of the cage that have got holes in between them, to warm each of the compartments to the temperature that you have set. It's in degrees centigrade because it's a British product, but you can work that out into Fahrenheit. So it's ideal for pre-tail vein bleeding or post-surgical recovery. The unit itself has 4 or 2 compartments, and again, you can move the dividers in and out as you want to make that into 4 or 2 compartments. They're all sprung loaded at the front, so the animals can't get out there, but they don't have to be physically restrained within the compartments. So it's really low stress to the animals when they're recovering from surgery, and if they're heating up before being tail vein bled or procedures being done like that. It would be used instead of a heat pad or a heat lamp. And the big advantage over both of those items is that you are in control of the temperature. There won't be any hot spots. With heat lamps, you've got to be there all the time, watching, because the lamp is just shining hot light down on your animal. And heat spots are very, very common. The animals can get really bad burn injuries from them if they're left unattended. This will set the temperature and keep it at that temperature, plus or minus 1 degree. So there's much less danger of harm to the animal. There's also no way they can get in contact with the heating element. Even with heat pads, which are a relatively low heat, there's always the potential for hot spots. If you've got them underneath the cage, there's the potential of part of the cage base becoming too hot, and you've got no control over what temperature that heats to usually. So that's why the thermocage is a great option for that. It is literally plug it into the wall, any electrical socket, and it will go. As long as it's switched on, it will maintain its temperature. When you're finished, you just switch it off. It's a super simple piece of kit, and that's where we really find the best pieces of kit are.
I'm glad you explained that. Like Mia said, it's brilliant. That's and Kathy's like, yeah, much better than a heat pad, and that's exactly how you explained it.
Yeah,
so
it is
great.
So much better than those things. You've just got so much more user control, user friendly. The design itself is it's about the size of 2 legal size pieces of paper put together. That's approximately the size I would liken it to, and the height of it is 12 inches, just under 12 inches. So it's designed to fit into any standard cage change station, or it will sit really simply on a bench top.
Great. Well, I'm glad you explained it because I've seen it in the catalog and I wasn't even sure myself what it was, what it did. So that helps.
Yeah, it's one we always have on the booth with us, and it always gets a lot of interest, especially when the aircon is on in trade halls, and it gets freezing cold in vendor halls, doesn't it? I mean, it always gets cold, and so you can put hands in it and get nice and warm.
So there's a new question here. There's often a concern with the need to separate the animal from heat when recovering. The option of removing HT himself from heat. Does the thermocage allow for this, or is it a set 1 temp?
No, while it's on, you can adjust the temperature. I think that's what the question is, whether you can adjust the temperature when it's the animal's in recovery. So yeah, you can adjust the temperature. So the pad on the side of it is, and I'm going to just reshare that screen so you can see the image. On the right hand side of the box, you can just see a little black control box that literally has an up and down arrow on it and a number display. So the number that is displayed is your temperature, and the up and down arrow will change that temperature. If you reduce the temperature while it's in use, it will cut the heating element off until it cools down, and then once it cools down to the right temperature that you've set, it will kick the element back in and start recirculating that air, just to keep the temperature that you have set it at. Equally, you can increase the temperature during use, and it will gradually warm the animals back up and hold it at that temperature, ±1 degree, for the amount of time that the kit is turned on. So yeah, it gives you really good control. And the animals themselves are restrained, as I say, in the little compartments underneath, of which there can be 4 individuals or 2 individual compartments. So your animals aren't coming in contact with each other, but they're not being restrained physically in the box.
All right. I think anybody else, any questions on the thermocage or even the scruff guard that we showed? I think we had some new attendees like pop in, or even any other enrichment items. Really done a great job. I mean, like I literally did not even know how to talk about the thermocage. So now I'm like, okay, that actually makes a whole lot of sense.
So it's a fab piece of kit.
I like hands-on demos. I like
Yeah.
videos. That makes it so much easier for my brain. So, well, all right. Is that it? Then if that's is that it, man? Nikki, and the reason I say that, if that's the case, we also, oh, there's somebody's raising their hand here.
Oh.
Does that mean you have one other question?
Let's see anything.
Allowed to talk. Yep. Oh, I guess maybe I had everybody muted.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Awesome. I wondered how that worked. Anyway, could I see that video again on the scruff one so I can really explain it to my PI?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds and I will get back to it. And we can send you the link to the video as well, so you will be able to show the video to your PEIs. There's scruff guard. Right, let me share the screen. Oh no, not leave meeting. Although I nearly left the meeting then. That wasn't going to be very good, was it? Right, so you should now see my screen and I should be able to do this. Oh, that's the wrong slide. Oh, come on. Right, it's gone back to the beginning. Hold on, let me whiz back through. Technology and me are really not meant to be together sometimes.
Is this one on YouTube also?
The video, yes, it is.
Okay, I might can find it again on there. That's cool.
I am going to find it for you now. I'm nearly there. I'm clicking through. Apologies for this. It's the end of my day here. Here we go.
Datesand would like to introduce you to the Scruff Guard. Scruff Guard is a tool designed and developed to make dosing procedures less stressful for rodents in veterinary practices or in research laboratory. Scruff Guard is different from traditional manual restraints and is very simple to use. The mouse is taken from the home cage and placed onto a soft foam base. The Scruff Guard is then placed over the mouse so that its fur protrudes from the central slot and the scruff can be grasped without injury to the mouse or handler. The Scruff Guard is ideal for routine subcutaneous dosing, such as pain relief following surgery or microchipping for identification purposes. The Scruff Guard can also be used for intraperitoneal procedures. We want to make dosing and microchipping as stress-free as possible, and we think that the Scruff Guard can help achieve that. For more information,
I think you can see from the video just how non-stressed the animal is, how non-stressed the mouse is towards the end of the procedure. It just kind of sits nicely, and even when the Scruff Guard is taken off, it's not trying to dart away. So
That helped.
That was wonderful. Thank you. That's a beautiful mouse too. Beautiful
it's a
mouse.
lovely mouse, isn't it?
It is very. I
Real
wish
small.
ours were even as calm when he started. How calm they were. 'Cause I'm trying to
If only
think,
they were all that calm all the time, huh?
yeah, I'm trying to think of her breed, and I barely or her strain. I can barely. I can't think of what it is, but it's a hard one, and she has a lot of difficulty with a certain PI. So she'll be starting those up here pretty soon. So I'm thinking if I can get those, they will be better.
Sorry, I've got a visitor.
Hey, this is all good.
Visitor in her Moana pajamas.
Um,
But I'll come and see you in a minute.
So is there anybody else? I know we had some late attendees. Is there anybody else there's something that you missed or something you want to know? Feel free to message us, ask a question. We'll show up and then don't run off because we are going to I have my famous wheel of names. So we're going to draw for the gift that Datesand has given out. So apparently there's some.
I'm going to show you the picture of the gift now.
Yes. So controversy on these, you call it football, these soccer team jerseys.
So the soccer team jerseys. So we've got either a Liverpool, who are my team and the champions of England at the moment, jersey, or a Manchester United top, who are my boss Jonathan's team and who historically have been very good, but not so good at the moment. And also we're going to send over some British tea and biscuits for your tea rooms, so you can have an absolutely lovely afternoon tea break.
That's great. So one more question on the thermocage. How do you clean the thermocage? It's a very good question.
Yeah, so that is a great question. So the thermocage can be VHP'd. The base is acrylic, so you can't put it through a cage wash. So it needs to be manually washed or wiped down with alcohol spray and VHPs. The main way to clean it.
That's always a concern. So that's a good. Anybody else? Let's see. All right. Oh, here's another. Let's see. Oh, I got a name. Okay. Just making sure Brian, want to make sure we get her some samples as well. So we will do that. Not a problem. All right. Well, let me share my screen and do this awesome wheel of names. We ready to give away a gift? I think we've done pretty good. All right. Here we go. Share. I think see if I can share it. Here we go. I think I can. Of course all right, here we go. See that beautiful wheel? It's got all these attendees' names on it. It's great. And I got to figure out how to share the sound because I want to make sure it has a sound on there. So we are going to, there we go. I want to make sure that you guys can hear this. Or I'm going to try to. Well, here we go. We're going to click. All right. Can y'all hear it? I know I can.
Yeah, but it's not spinning.
You don't see it spinning?
No. Yeah, hold on.
You don't see it spinning? Do you see that? Do you see the fireworks?
Yes.
Very slowly.
Oh my goodness. It's because maybe my internet's from. So
Let's have a winner.
and Carrie, I'm not sure, Fiala, she's our winner. So we will make sure and get that over to her. I'm like, oh no, like it's actually much more dramatic. When,
Well done, Carrie.
Thank you so much. Let me stop sharing here. But I thank you guys all for attending our first live webinar. We really appreciate it. We've got all the list of all the different samples. If you think of something, questions later on, don't hesitate. Please reach out to us anytime. We'll be happy to get answer those questions. Nikki and I are going to work on getting these samples out to you. Anything else you can think of? And I think that's it, really. We really appreciate it. Oh, let's see. One new message really quick on here. And everybody just appreciates it. So, Nikki, you did a great job. Thank you so much for staying up late over there.
Thanks for having us.
And I think it was very beneficial to actually be able to see the videos of them and see, and again, this thing in action. So I think this is going to be really popular. So that means, Jason, I know you were on here. Please get these brought in as soon as possible. Anyways, well, I really appreciate your time. Thank you, guys. Hope you've had a great.
Thanks so much.
Stay tuned.
Have a great meeting.
And stay tuned for more information on how other drawings and things we've got going on. So
You're doing a great job, guys. Thanks a lot.
we really appreciate
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
it.
Thank you.
Thanks.